Hello everyone, welcome to the video. In this video, I am going to discuss about a strategy and a broad book list. This is not an exhaustive list per se. However, this is a general must do books and a must take care of strategy video wherein I'm going to discuss what you need to do in order to crack this year's UPSC Prelims 2025, which is to be held at the end of May this year. Uh, this video is long overdue. I've been trying to make such video for everyone out there from a long time. However, I was not able to due to certain reasons. However, better late than never. I am here and I'll be telling you about my strategy, how I cracked last two prelims, consecutive prelims I've cracked in 2023 and 2024. Uh, so 2023 and in 2024. So without any delay, let's go ahead. So first of all, the broad book list. So book list for for UPSC Pre. This is specific to Pre, so please don't confuse it with the book list for mains, right? It is a completely different thing. So this should be kept very basic. Strategy or major strategy which needs to be focused and kept in mind while you are choosing your book list or finalizing it should be that you should stick to few sources. ठीक है, you should not change your source once you have finalized it. ठीक है, while finalizing you should take ample amount of time, whether you are able to read a particular type of book, whether you are able to understand the content in it. You can choose an alternate book, but once you choose the book, do not try to change the book continuously. It will lead you nowhere. Then you have to revise it multiple times. Basically, reading a book once, at least for UPSC prelims, is like not reading it at all. So better you skip that book. You will not be able to read multiple times rather than reading it even once. You can utilize that time in reading some other book again. So yeah, so these are the two basic things you have to keep in mind. Now coming to the exact books. So as we know, the polity is one of the major sections. Economics is one of the major sections. Then one of the major section is environment and geography combined. This is a bit of a mixture pillar, you know. So first of all, I'll talk about these pillars. Then I'll come to other subjects. So for polity, I think I have always followed only one source, which is Lakshmikant. Lakshmikant, and this is more than enough. A lot of people try to read D.D. Basu and other books. However, I don't feel there is any need to go for these books. Rather, you must supplement your knowledge by political theory and NCRT. पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी वाली बुक से आप इसको सप्लीमेंट कर सकते हो NCERT से, which is I think the NCERT for class 11th or 12th. I feel I'm not sure of the book exactly which year it is. So this is the book which you should read rather than any other book. Then for economics, I would recommend NCERT of 12th class. I think macroeconomics wali, not micro. You should be aware that UPSC doesn't ask microeconomics too much. I mean, there may be some few questions from it though, but largely it asks focuses on macroeconomics. So you should read macroeconomics wali NCRT. Then you should, that is not enough. So you have to read current affairs के साथ. You have to be very thorough, especially focusing on banking के topics, banking like repo rate, etc. Like CRR, SLR. So all these things you have to be very, very, very clear of conceptually also, right? Then you can supplement it by some notes of some institute. I will not take the name. Usually, chalo, let me take the name. Mrunal Sir's notes are very famous in the market. Although I have not followed them, I find them too bulky. So it is completely dependent on the person whether you are able to, find them. You If you are able to find them, find it good, then you can go ahead with reading those notes. Then you may go. For example, I have also made use of Vivek Singh sir's MCQ questions. MCQ questions. So basically, I've used these sources largely, I think, for my understanding, as well as some videos which you can use on YouTube. General, no, and none in particular. Coming to environment and geography, so this is highly current oriented. So current affairs and PYQs are the must here, especially. Then geography may class 12th and class 11th, obviously 11th and 12th. NCRT is a must and the only thing you need to follow. There is no need to read GC Leong. Uh, I have not found it useful. Maybe there may have been questions from it here and there, but I don't think so. It is worth increasing your reading list. So I have never followed it, and I would not recommend anyone else to follow it as well. So yeah, this is my book thing for geography. Then uh, I think in environment, current affairs and PYQs, I think this is the only thing. I cannot remember anything else here. Yeah, largely, and in this mapping is another, like, a large portion of it. So mapping is very important. So mapping of uh, world mapping, world countries, right? Then India ka now, in each of these there should be, you should particularly focus on rivers. Then uh, then you should focus on deserts. Then you should focus on vegetation, right? Then you should focus on uh, mountains. Then you should focus on volcanoes. Then you should focus on uh, basically the national parks, wildlife reserves, the tiger reserves, then elephant reserves, then regions in India, as well as important species and conventions. Conventions मतलब COP, ठीक है? COP of, a lot of COPs are held, so you need to be very clear of this. UNFCCC का COP, then UNCCD. So this is UN uh, uh, for climate change. This is for UNCCD is for combating desertification. Uh, then there are other conventions which keep on happening, and you need to be really clear and be aware of the general happenings in all the conventions, right? So coming to the next pillar of the books you need to read, or the broader strategy you need to follow, is I think history, right? So this is the most tricky portion in UPSC these days. The pattern in terms of questions being asked in history have changed dramatically, and like they are not everyone's cup of tea anymore. So unlike earlier years, the weightage of modern history had decreased. So largely it consists of three portions: ancient, then medieval, and modern, right? And there are hardly any questions from uh, basically postmodern, although postmodern is also a part of it. Then in history, you need to follow NCRTs thoroughly, because if you analyze the PYQs carefully, you'll realize that questions are being asked, like verbatim questions being asked from the books, from the corners of the book, from the keywords. So you need to make notes of the keywords which are being asked. Usually UPSC tends to repeat a lot of keywords a lot of times, so you need to, be ready to answer any question that comes from those keywords. Then NCRT of almost all the classes, except of all classes except for ninth and 10th. Basically these books consist topics related to world history which are not relevant for prelims. Hence I have asked you to not read class 9th and 10th key NCRT. That means you have to read class 6th, 7th, 8th, and then directly to 11th and 12th. So they say they make up around 5 books, right? So this is the thing of history, and then obviously you should read the famous book, modern history spectrum, right? So this needs to be read, right? So these are the four pillars, 4 or 5 pillars broadly, that you need to cover regarding the current affairs, which is the most complex thing people find it to be. Current affairs, so this need not to be given that much focus that people usually tend to give it, but what I would suggest is uh, reading monthly magazine of uh, of a year, or let's say 15 months. 15 months, if you can do it. 15 months monthly magazine of any coaching. I would not name the coaching. Whatever comes easy to you, like it will be good enough to you for you. Okay, so I think this is some broad strategy. I can't remember of other top uh, any other pillar or subject which gets asked and I have not covered. I think, yeah, so this is pretty much it. And thank you for tuning in. And do let me know if you have any queries and would like me to cover any other topic related to UPSC, or any other thing you would like me to clarify. Happy to answer always. So, yeah, that's it for the video. Thank you. Have a great one.